welcome back to part 2 of our Triceratops build. Now how far did we get? Well, we built it and last night I primed it, left it overnight, and that's probably going to send the white balance totally scatty. So we're going to today we're just going to paint him, but we're going to play. We're going to play around. We're going to do different colours, different layers, blending, trying to get it to look seamlessly, colour transitions. Oh, why have I suddenly gone all out of focus then? That was weird. Hello. What a strange thing. Right, so, like I was saying, we're just going to play with colours. Greens, browns, some greys. And we're going to try some wet blending and different ways of making it look more realistic. We don't want it to look cartoony. We want it to look quite realistic. However, nobody knows, realistically, what these things look like. So you could use any colour you want. You could use pinks and purples. Nobody knows. I'm just going for greens and browns. It's, to my way of thinking, it would have been camouflaged to their environment. You look at lizards, reptiles, they're predominantly green and browns at the moment, you know, now. But like we said, we just don't know. They could have been red and yellow. Dinosaurs could have been colourblind. We don't know. We really don't know. So I'm just going to do mine in what I fancy doing, which is different shades of greens and browns and make it camouflaged. Because in my eyes, they would have been. Nature shows us that's the way things are done. So we're going to start off at the bottom. Now, it's always easier to work from a light colour to a dark colour than it is to go from dark to light. So the underneath of mine, I'm going to paint a beigey colour. Now, this is going to be the boring bit. So what I'll do is I'll pause it for a minute because this is going to be really boring, and for some reason my camera keeps going out of focus. It's probably the white balance thing, isn't it? So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll move the palette out of the way because that's probably what's sending it absolutely loony. So where can we start? Let's get my manky old palettes then. Really need to clean my manky old palettes out. Don't be like Dave. Dave's an idiot. I'll have to clean them later. The beauty about acrylic paint is you can peel it. It's quite therapeutic as well, peeling it off. So let's get our beige colour. Get it in there. And this is literally just get it on there, slap it on. Thin coat, spread it around. Now I don't want to go on the beak, because what we're going to do later, we're going to have fun with the beak and the horns. We'll have fun with them later. So literally thin coat, one direction. Not a fan of one direction. Literally get on there. Now what we want to try and do is click it up there a little bit. We'll go down the inside of the legs. With the bottom colour. Don't worry if you're missing bits, because what we're going to do in a minute is we're going to choose our next colour. And we're going to start blending it up a little bit. So I'll come up the belly a little bit. And up the tail a little bit. Alright, so we're going to wash our brush off. And we're going to choose our next colour, which is going to be a really light green. bright one. Really, really bright one. And then we'll do it. Or should we do it the other way? No, we'll do that. We'll do it that way. It's a really bright green on the job. This is Tamiya's Park Green. And we'll literally get it on there. Well, that is bright. Blimey. That is bright. That might be a bit too bright, but never mind. We'll get it on. We'll get it on there, and then we'll darken it down later. That is very bright. Let's get on there. We'll do all the feet of them, and then we'll pick it out. Its hoofs or claws or whatever you want to call them. We'll pick them out in a bony colour later. Let's get this bright green on there. A very, very bright green. All we're going to do is just going to build colour up. I quite like the bright green for his face, because I reckon they would use that as a display thing. Round his eyes. We'll paint the horns later. And I'll paint his eyes later. Get some thin coats on there. It's very bright. Very bright in your face, but never mind. Tone it all down later. And we start putting dark washes on. It looks very pants at the moment, but that's because this is thin coats, and what we'll do is when it's dry we'll go in again, start blending everything together. Let's get them thin coats on for now. We're just putting the base colours down, that's all we're doing. Doesn't have to be super neat, it's just a base colour, it just needs to be thin coats, and a nice coverage. You don't want lumpy big blobs of paint everywhere. Literally, just thin coats. The other reason for doing thin coats is you don't want to hide detail, paint over everything. These are very, very nicely detailed, especially around the legs, and they'll hold a wash fantastic later on. But if you go in with a ½ inch layer of paint, you're just going to fill those up, and then you won't see it. Green fingers now. actually. More water than pigment then. Get it in there, just slap it on. I know it looks messy at the moment. All we're doing is just putting down a base coat. What we need to do now is go for a darker green. So let's go for something like an olive green. And then we'll start to at the top. Let's put a huge stripe down the top and then clean off a brush. Just have it damp. I've got a damp bigger brush here. What I'm trying to do now, just pull it down. Get some more down that. Just start pulling it down, and it will start to blend, because the pale green is still wet. You'll be able to transition the two together and start to blend them in. Just by pulling the paint. And it's virtually like mixing the paint on the model. That's a big white patch there. Blend in and pull in, moving paint around. I'll leave that to dry for a bit. We'll do some more of these face and these frill. It's just all we're doing is sort of like mixing colours, but on the miniature, on the model. when that's dry, what we'll do is we'll start playing with washes. So I'll pause this for a bit, and then we'll start playing with washes and things, and when that's dried. So I'll see you in a bit, in a second. It's time machine. Oh, where's my thing? Oh, there it is. Time machine. Right, what have I done since we've been paused? I've done 3 coats now, and I've cleaned up the horns and everything else. We're going to paint a different colour. So just bear with it, thin coats, keep working away at it, and eventually you'll get to a shade and a colouring that you like. So what we're going to do now, the white's dried now, so we're going to paint all the little bits, and then we'll get on to adding the camouflage and hopefully a wash. So how are we going to do this? I made up a bony colour. I'm literally just going to paint the claws. Now the back feet, like I said earlier, are the only disappointing part about this model. Not very well defined and they're very lumpy and clumpy. So I'm just going to do an interpretation of where I think the claws or the toenails, like an elephant or a rhino, would be. So we'll just put a base coat down on them, and then later on we'll start messing about with stuff. I'll just turn that off before it gets annoying. Just painting the nails. So I've got my daughter to come and do that, shouldn't I? She's been half their life painting the nails. Right, so let's just get our base colour down on the horns and the beak. But before we do the beak, I think we'll do the inside of the mouth. Now, if you want to, before you start building this, it's very hollow inside the mouth. So if you wanted to, before you got to the construction stage, just use some putty or some green stuff or something like that if you want to, and make the inside of the mouth, because mine's just hollow. Now I've painted it white because we're going to try and make it look a bit better by adding some pinks and some reds in there. Helicopters flying about now. We've got the new aircraft carrier in Portsmouth at the moment, and I think they've been at it for days now. Helicopters flying about and that. I think they're doing practicing landing and taking off from the deck and that. Just to keep the pilots on the toes, stop them getting bored probably. Lots of training. If you want to get good at something, you have to keep practicing it. So that's already starting to look a lot better than stark white, but we're going to work on this as well in a bit. Same with the horn on his schnoz and his beak. Now we don't know what colour his horns were. We don't know what colour the beak was. It could have been like a parrot. Could have been multicoloured. Because there's no way of knowing from the fossil record what colour the skins were. Right, so that's the bounds done, the page is done. So what we're going to do, while that dries, we can start playing with that. What we can do now is start doing some form of camouflage pattern on our Triceratops. And the other thing I've been thinking as well is, if you look at a lot of birds and fish, they have what they call an eye spot. Sometimes with fish they have it on the tail to protect their actual eyes. Now, what's to say a Triceratops didn't have two very large eye spots on its frill to protect its actual eyes, so that a creature would attack above the horns and then be in a better position to get gouged up. They may have had eye spots as some form of mating display, where they flush blood into the crest and it finds all out. Nobody knows. So in your world you could do that. We might do. We'll have a look. Anyway, so let's get some camouflage down. Now there's two ways, really simple ways of doing this. You could sponge it on, or you could stipple it on. Now then, if you've got a manky old paintbrush, pretty much means all of mine, what you could do is you could make a stipple brush, and all you've got to do is trim it right down to about just over halfway. Just trim it. Make sure it's nice and flat. You've only got a haircut. You look like a beaker for no pits, and you'll end up with something like that. And all you want to do is get a base colour. So we're going to try, what I think we'll do is I'm going to use black, and then when it's dry I'm going to use a brown, and then to really give it some colour and brighten the whole thing up, I might actually do some yellow in there so it fades up. So let's get our black. Give it a shake. I give these a good stir earlier. Gonna make you a bit of tissue or something. Dab it on and dab a bit of it off. Not like dry brushing, you don't want to dab all of it off. And then literally just start stippling. So ours is going to go down its flanks to a bit of a point, and then split off a bit like a zebra pattern, and then match it up the other side, and then literally, now it wouldn't be a mirror image, it'd just be total random, the same as most things are in nature, but just stipple it on most of it off. Get some in there as well, behind your neck, smaller one there. And literally start stippling. You want it quite wide for these bits, because we're going to add more colours to it as we go along. So perhaps that one splits and goes down there and goes right down. And there. Just do the back ones first. You see what I mean? Just randomly, just stipple it on, work it round. Now when you get to the legs, we'll go sideways and stipple crossways like that to the middle, or nearly to the middle, and then offset the other side of the leg. literally just like that. Now it will start to look a lot better once that's dry, and we're going to put in different colours in there. But the black is purely just the base of where we're going to add our browns, and stippling it just gives it that softer edge. And if we just painted lines, you can paint lines if you want, it's entirely up to you. It's your dinosaur, it's your interpretation of nature. Let's blend it in and fade it, get lighter as we get down the bottom. Then you've got to make a decision as well. With the front legs marked, or whether, you know, just plain green. The camouflage markings only go down so far. Nobody knows. Only you do, because it's your dinosaur. In your world, it might stop halfway down the body. In somebody else's world, it might completely go out to the underneath. In mine, it's going to go about halfway down. That's the great fun thing about dinosaurs. When it comes to painting, you can do whatever you want, because nobody in this world can river count you. Not even paleontologists, famous paleontologists like Barker, won't be able to river count you, because nobody ever saw one alive, as far as we know. You might get some ancient alien serious comment below and say, oh no, mankind was alive with dinosaurs. There's Peruvian pottery clearly showing pictures of men and dinosaurs together, and there are. And that's one of the strange things that nobody actually knows. The Incas were very strange people, very clever people. We're probably going to get river counted by ancient alien theories now. But that's fine. Comment away. We'll have a good discussion about it. We like a good discussion. Let's get that neck bit and give that a bit more. You know, I quite like the idea of doing the very top of his spine, the very peak of his back, giving that some colour as well, so it all joins in together like a big herringbone sort of effect, just in the camouflage scheme, just in his coloration. So let's fold it down, put some stripes on his tail, and at the very tip. Now then, what about his legs? Does it go further down his legs? Yeah. And I'll just leave his feet in the dark green colour. Now his front legs, I reckon they're going to go just at the top. Just a couple of stripes just near the top edge. Same on the other side. So I'll put one about there, one about there, and one just above his knee. Alright then, now what about his head? What about his crest here? Should we go for 2 big eye spots? Yeah, let's go for it. Let's see what we can do. It might look absolutely rubbish, we don't know. So we'll just do it as an outline. It's quite dimpled just in this section here, so we'll use that as our eye spots. Stipple it in so it gives a nice feathered edge. And what I'm going to do in mine as well, I'm thinking about it, the ridges on the end, I might just paint them like a bone colour, the same as the horns, as if it's actual bone that comes out, horny material around the edge of his frill, added oomph and protection and scare tactic when some Allosaurus or some T-Rex is coming hurtling towards it. You'd turn and face it, and lift its frill up and pump blood through it so its eye spots would light up, and I reckon that'd be quite a scary display. It'd be like, oh gee, blimey, it's seen me. Would you attack something that's about 17 tons and 25 feet long with horns the size of that? Well, our raptors are, because our raptors are very intelligent creatures and I've lured it into an ambush, basically. You won't believe the size difference. These are exactly the same scale, 1/35 scale. That's a 25 foot fully grown adult Triceratops. And that's a 7 or 8 foot fully grown Velociraptor that probably weighs about 200 pounds, because they would be, like birds are, extremely fast, hollow boned, probably with feathers, but we don't get feather attachments for ours. Just a very fast lightning strike, rip you to pieces with its claws predator. Whereas Mr. Old Triceratops would be very lumbering, a bit like an elephant or a rhino. Can move when it has to, but would rather just plod along, munching leaves and plants and whatever else it can get its gob round, really. So let's leave that to dry for a bit, and then we'll get on putting the next colour on our camouflage scheme. So I'll see you in a second, in a minute. Time machine. Time machine. I didn't realise how long we've been going for. 40 minutes. Right, I've just done the white. I'm going to do the bone effect on there, and then we'll call it a day. In our next episode, what we'll do is we'll finish off the painting, we'll finish off the camouflage, do the washes. I think 40 minutes is long enough. People have gone long before now. Anyway, so play PlayStation, play Xbox, play PC games, get outside, enjoy the sunshine, meet new people, have an adventure. Always tell somebody where you're going and what time you're going to be home. And then we'll see you in our next episode when we carry on with all the paintings. It's a time machine.